Welcome back to my channel. Today we're starting with our brand new and first series called Baking/Cooking Diaries. We're going to start the series by baking some mini strawberry pies. I put the ingredients, the procedure, and the website I got it from down below if you want to follow the process with me. So, let's get started. For the dough, we're going to need 155 grams of flour, 85 grams of cold butter, and 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of cold water. Now for the filling, we're going to need 300 grams of strawberry, 70 grams of brown sugar, and 30 grams of white sugar, half a lemon, 15 grams of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of water, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Two things I forgot to mention were that this recipe makes approximately 6 mini tarts. So for me, I did double the recipe to make 12 to 13 tarts. Also, a recommendation for me is that you shouldn't preheat your oven from the beginning, since it's a long process. It takes about 1 hour and a half to 2 hours, so I recommend you that you start preheating your oven when you're almost done. For all these recipes, I actually recommend having a kitchen scale because it makes it way easier for you to know how much stuff you need, whereas if you don't have one, it may be very difficult to measure everything, but not impossible. To prepare the filling, you first need to cut the strawberries into medium cubes. What I did is that after I washed them, I took the leaves off and cut the calyx or the cup of the strawberry off, and then I cut them into little pieces. For me, this felt like an eternity. They were a lot of strawberries and I felt like they were coming and didn't stop. Now we have to get the 70 grams of brown sugar and the 30 grams of white sugar. Preferably measure them separately, not together. Next, we're going to place in a saucepan the strawberries you already cut and the sugar you measured beforehand, and we're going to stir on medium heat until the strawberries soften and they release their juice. After stirring for a minute or two, you can add the juice of half a lemon and the 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. For the final step of the filling, we're going to take 15 grams of cornstarch and add 1 tablespoon of water to it. It's going to end up having a consistency of that liquid when you punch becomes hard and when you let still becomes liquid. It has that kind of a consistency, and we're going to add it to the saucepan. By the way, it was non-Newtonian liquid, and it was literally not Newtonian liquid, not just the consistency, because it's made out of cornstarch and water. We're going to mix until it has a jam consistency, just like this. After finishing the filling, we're going to let it cool in the refrigerator while we do the dough. Making the dough. Now, for the dough, it's only 3 ingredients, and we're starting with the 155 grams of flour, followed by the 85 grams of cold butter. You can add them together in a bowl and you can start kneading it with your hands or mixing it with a food processor. For this part, you should aim that the dough has a sand consistency just like this one. Now we're going to add the 1 tablespoon of water and we're going to start kneading again. It got to a point for me where the dough was very dry, so I put more water, but be mindful of how much water you're putting because I put way too much water and it got too sticky, so I had to put flour again. So yeah, so be mindful of how much water you're putting because if you put too much, it's too sticky, and if you don't put that much, it's too dry. For my work area to start rolling the dough, I put some paper with some masking tape and flour so that it wouldn't stick to the paper, but it was actually not the best setup because the paper was moving around a lot. So find a area or a setup where you can roll the dough and it won't move as much, so it won't be that difficult. To make the mini tarts, you can use a cupcake or muffin mold just like the one I'm using here. Grease your mold so that the tarts don't stick to it later. To make the base of the tarts, I used a large bottle cap and elongated the circles a bit more so that they would fit correctly into the mold. This is how the first one ended up looking. Repeat the process with all of them. Now, putting the top of the tarts or decorating like them in the top was the most difficult part for me because making those little strips with that knife, use a better knife. And also, I just took the dough and molded it like clay and then just put it on, and that's that. This is how the first batch ended up looking and I loved it so much, but if I'm being honest, I really liked how the second batch looked better because I was really creative with the second batch. I did some a star topper, or I think a flower one too. I'll show you in a moment, but I just love the second one so much better. Look, they're so cute. I loved how they looked in this one. I really loved how the stars ended up being like. I absolutely loved them. They're so cutie patooties. And also something I forgot to mention for the first batch is that you should mix an egg and glaze the top of them with a beaten egg, and then you put it you start baking them. Let them sit in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes at 200 in Celsius or at 392 Fahrenheit or until golden brown. As you can see, here is the final result. They ended up turning very delicious and very cute. We're finally done with the little pies. Look how cute they turned out to be. So don't get me wrong, I love baking, but I spent 3 hours in that kitchen doing this. Actually, it's not only these 6, as you saw before. I did like 12 because I did double the recipe, which I didn't think actually it would be enough, but it ended up being a lot. So yeah, so we're going to try them, and I'm just going to say I loved doing the strawberry jelly. I have never actually done like jelly before, so or like the filling, and I absolutely loved it. I actually have a jar with the remaining jelly I have. So yes, we're going to be trying them. I actually thought they would be like glued onto the thing, but a few moments ago I was trying to like get one out and they just like fell off. Like okay, there, like that. Okay, so we're going to try this one. So yeah. I love it. Look, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's, you know, like the jelly isn't too sweet, so you don't get like that very sweet filling, and the dough makes like it balances it out. I would have loved though if it was crunchier, but I really like how they turned out to be. Actually, funny story, it wasn't crunchier because I totally confused my Celsius and Fahrenheit and put my oven in 200 Fahrenheit instead of 392 Fahrenheit. So they were there for like a full hour until I was like, what's going on? Why aren't they like baking? And yeah. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!